you see as the role of the Board of Trustees to encourage and keep the college leadership accountable for reaching out to underserved populations in the county, particularly communities of color? We'll start with Catherine.
I think working with the administration and the executive directors, Dr. Weber and others, is one of the key priorities of the board, period. The board hires the executive director, the college president, the board works with them, helps them keep accountable, helps them reach their vision. And a big part of that accountability and vision is working with underserved individuals in Lake County. One of the great benefits of CLC is to be able to offer a wonderful level playing field to the underserved individuals of Lake County, and I think that is a big part of the vision currently of the administration. And as a board member, I would ask some of the tough questions and find out what kind of metrics are we using. How do we know that we're serving individuals in Lake County? Show me the numbers. I'd like to see how people are progressing. I'd like to see the financial commitment that we have. But first and foremost, how are our actual students doing? Both by self-reporting, are they content with the services that they've had so far? Are they getting jobs as a result of that? And how are they doing in programming overall? So I think working together directly with the leadership and also staying on top of those key questions and monitoring is a big part of the board's job.
So I think what's important is the board truly is representative of this community college. We should be out there in the community talking to public schools, talking to the community, talking about how it's possible to go and get an education at CLC. I think a lot of times people don't always think it's even possible. Oh, I don't have the money, or I don't have a way to get there, or my parents didn't go, or maybe it's not what I'm thinking is good for me. And so I think as a representative of the board, we need to be out in the community talking about what's possible, talking about getting an education, being able to bring people in and be able to work with them to get an education. I think a lot of times students don't necessarily see a way to college. And so we really need to broaden that message and get that out into the schools. It's important that we're out there into the areas in the community that people don't even think about it. Like, for example, North Chicago schools, the Waukegan schools, etc. Get out there and talk about, yes, you can do it. You can get to college, you can get that education, and you do have the ability. And then once they get here, to be able to support them in programs to get them through some of that remedial reading issue, to get through some of the math classes so that they can go on to get their degree. And it may take them 4 years. It may take them a little bit longer to get through CLC, but they can do it, and we need to get that message out.
The message can get out. And the problem is with the high schools in Lake County and the Regional Office of Education. They have a thing called Teacher Institute Days. It becomes a holiday for the kids. There's no reason why every high school in Lake County, in the fall of the seniors' year, that an Institute Day couldn't be such that the College Lake County would go out and recruit and have almost a whole day program on the respective campuses talking about the College Lake County, having your marketing stuff, having the tables like we have here when colleges come and want to recruit our students. We can take the message directly to the high schools and also invite the parents in at the same time. You can save some money. It's a direct message. It goes into every high school in Lake County. Further, the Office of Institutional Research has got tons and tons of data. We need to be able to make that accessible to the public on the webpage so that you know which high schools have doing a terrible job, which grade schools that feed them aren't doing such a good job. Nobody likes to have their nose rubbed in stuff. The fact of the matter is there are some failures out there. And so it's not so much that we want to point out the failures, it's we want to have the partnership to identify what the issues are and put corrective programs in place. We've got tons and tons of money that we spend for social service agencies here in Lake County, and I'm convinced that they're not as effectively as they could be. I'm delighted to hear the things that Dr. Vaughn has talked about here. I'm greatly impressed. And those are the kinds of things that we can expand upon through our high schools and getting that information out directly in the students' hands to begin with. So the opportunities are already there, we're just not using them.
In relation to your questions about students of color, because I am a woman of color, I'm an African American woman, and I come from this community, and I've worked here at the College of Lake County, and I've been a student here. As I mentioned before, this institution has a culture, right? And so there has to be, before we talk about going outside, we have to talk about the internal community. And it will be very important to me that the president, who's the face of this institution, the leader of this institution, that both our internal and external audience are able to attach themselves to, that they know that he's touchable, he's reachable, and he's available. And so I say that to say this: our internal College of Lake County community has a BSU, Black Student Union organization. It would be important that that organization has an opportunity to have maybe a president's, meet the president day, or invite the president to their particular meetings that they have. And as a woman of color, because I do like to maintain an active pulse in our external community, I wouldn't mind lending my hands and my resources to assist our executive staff member here to go out into the community and make himself available to our faith-based community, because we talk about culture. We could talk about a message, but what is the message? You have to make sure that that message reaches this population. You can't sugarcoat a message or make sure that it's just a general message. You have to make sure that you understand this culture, because if you don't understand the culture and you go out prematurely, you're not going to help them reach their full potential. So as an institution and as a woman of color, since we're talking about students of color, it will be my mission to ensure that the executive staff here understands our culture, understands what is important to us, which is our faith-based community, understands some of the invisible barriers that you don't see, first, so we won't judge ahead of time, because no one wants to be a failure. Everyone wants to succeed. But how do we get students of color to believe that education is possible? And I will be sure to be that trustee to support the president, making sure that education is possible for students of color here.
I think that when it comes to diversity, again, I think the college is doing a really good job trying to offer opportunities to all populations of our community. I think that we also have to look at the information that the Board of Trustees get. They're large packets, and we have to be very informed of all information that's coming to the board members. And what is the graduation rates? What are the GPAs of all the populations? Are they getting the support they needed? Are they getting the financial support they need? I think we have to look at the MAP grants. Many of our students of colors get those grants, and right now there's not a lot of MAP grants available, and we need to start looking at finances, education. We need to start looking at those types of problems that are going to prevent the diverse communities from getting the best education that they can get. I think that that we need to use the data warehouse that's in our institutional research and look at that data, as James said, and see where the populations are falling behind. What can we do to support those populations? Is it financial? Is it programs? Is it education? But as a trustee, we need to look at all the information very carefully and see and make sure that all populations are getting degrees, are getting their goals, and doing the best that they can in the College of Lake County.
And would you mind repeating your question? Were you specific to the Latino population, or?
It said just in general, particularly communities of color.
Okay. So, all right. Well, the first part of my answer is diversity can take a lot of different avenues. It could be ethnicity, or faith, it could be disability, socioeconomic status. students that I currently work with, I mentioned that we've got 4 trailer parks. And this one's a pretty large.
Can you hear me?
Okay. I'm taller, so it's hard for me to get to this. The biggest challenge that they have is the accessibility. And changing attitudes. They don't always feel that it's something they can achieve. Maybe their family, they would be first generation to seek higher education. I don't think I disagree with anything I've heard, stated here. But I think one key factor is the personal outreach, the personal element. They need role models. They need a staff that's reflective of, the diversity in the community. And starting young. Outreach, there should be members of the CLC community that, will routinely, and I believe CLC does, meet and talk with not just faculty at feeder districts, but also with kids, and let them, you talk about marketing and there's financial struggles that we're going to be facing in the future, but time doesn't always cost. I would certainly be willing to head out and have those conversations. I obviously love kids.
Thank you. I think the question, I want to pull it back a little bit. I think it fits into this category, as I heard the question, is that one of the trustees' roles is to hire the president, to evaluate the performance, to see if it's in tune with the college mission and goals. And I think that question falls under evaluation if the president's doing a good job with it or not. One of the things that concerns me is that I've heard some things here today that perhaps could blur the boundaries of what a trustee is and what an employee is. I mean, someone's hired to do that job, and that's what they should be doing. And I would not favor the trustees taking their hand and walking into that area to help them do the job. I mean, we can be supported in a lot of different ways, but our role as trustee is one of oversight and accountability, and hiring the right people, tasking them to do their job. And if that gets to be a problem, then we address it from there.